just for women. It's all welcome. Women and men, all genders, all of them, all of them, all the genders. Okay, we're gonna begin. Thank you so much for coming. Chag Sameach. Okay, so quickly, there's like so much to say today because it's Rebbe and Nachman's Yahrzeit, and it's Sukkot, and we're here. So I'm gonna say this amazing story that Rebbe Nachman brings down. He brings down a story, one of his parables, one of his mishalim that he says. The story, welcome, come inside. Oh my gosh, where's the air conditioning? Rebbe Nachman says like this. He says there's a man that was a coal miner. He was a miner, a coal. He used to dig up for coals. A very, very poor man. And the story goes that this man was digging one day. The man is completely poor. And he hit something. And he looks at it and he sees that, wow, it's a major, massive diamond. And he takes it out of the ground and he can't believe it. He's never seen anything so shiny, so sparkling, so big in his life. And he takes it to the town thrift store, what's the word? What is it? Jeweler, change place thing. He takes it there, and the guy looks at him and he says, there's no one here in this town that's going to has any kind of money to compare it to this diamond that you just found. You got to go to London. You got to go to London, and there you're going to get to the big city, and there you can sell this, and your life is forever changed. Your life is never going to be the same way again. And the man's like, how am I supposed to get to London? I don't have money for a sandwich. How am I supposed to get to London? He's like, I don't know what you have to do, but do something. Do something and get there. So that's what he does. He starts to work, and he has this diamond in his pocket, this massive gigantic esrog kind of thing going on. And he walks, and he gets further along in his trip, and then he gets to this inn, and he hears about this inn. He hears that the innkeeper there is a very, 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 very affluential man that has many businesses, and he has that kind of money. And when he walks into the inn, he asks to speak to him. Now, this man is a very, very simple man. Rebbe Nachman explains he's like so simple, he doesn't know anything from anything, like anything at all. And sometimes when people are so simple, sometimes they can confuse us for being super complicated. They're really very, 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 very simple. So he asks to speak to this man. And this man comes out, and Rebbe Nachman says in his story that this giant man comes out with like necklaces, tattoos, very, very intimidating man. And this little guy, Yaakov, he looks at him and he says, are you so-and-so? And he says, yes, I am. Where are you? And he says, I really need to talk to you. He says, what do you want? And he says, I need to talk to you. I need to tell you something privately. Can we move to the side? And he says, yeah. And then he says to him, I want you to look down at my pocket, at my right pocket. And the man looks down in his right pocket and he sees the diamond. And he understands that this man that he's standing in front of, this little Yaakov, he understands that this man, he's a businessman. He knows what's up. He knows what he's doing. He looks like a fool, but he's, like we say in Hebrew, kalibel. He knows what he's doing. So the man says to him, "You're gonna stay with me, okay? We're gonna do some business together." And he says, "Of course." So he stays there, and he stays there for about a week. And during this week, this innkeeper gives him everything in the inn. He spoils him. He gives him the food. And Rebbe Nachman goes into details on how he's like living the life he's never lived in his life. He's like, the view is crazy. There's a view of the ocean. He has everything that he can possibly want to eat, to drink, and he's really relishing in all of this. And he would put this diamond in front of him on the table and just look at it while he's drinking his fine wine. And he would look at it and say, oh my gosh, very soon, my life is going to change completely. And one day, as the servants were clearing up, they took the paper, the tablecloth, they wrapped it up, and they threw it away. And Yaakov looked around for the tablecloth that was there, and he says, wait, where's the tablecloth that was here on this table? And the waiter says, it's been in the ocean for the last 20 minutes. And he says, first of all, he didn't say anything. He swallowed really hard, and he said, come again? She said, it's been in the ocean for the last 20 minutes. We threw it out a while ago. He said, oh no. And then he had a thought. And his thought was, I have two options. And listen to this, because this is going to change your sukkahs. This is going to change your sukkahs. And this is going to change your sukkahs. He Says I have two options. Option number one is that I sit down on the floor right now and cry my head off and say, oh, woe is to me. I cannot believe this happened to me in my life. I cannot believe that the day that I find like my life changes is the day I let it go. I lose sight of it. I can't believe I did that. One option. Option number two is that if I now show all these people here that have been mefanekoti, that have been feeding me and giving me wine and all these things, I'll smach this diamond that I have in my pocket. If I now show them that I lost this diamond, I'm shark meat. They're basically going to throw me in the ocean also. So I have to keep up this image that all is good and that I'm on my way to London and things are about to change for all of us. And that's what he decides to do. The waiter asks him, is there a problem? Is everything okay? He says, yeah, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Can I get some more of that watermelon, please? I don't usually speak out of a mic. I don't know how to do this. Is this okay? Oh, better this way? Okay, fine. So he says, so he puts up this image as if nothing happened, he didn't lose anything, it's all good, he's still a millionaire, a trillionaire, he's still on his way to fame and greatness. And so the guy comes up to him and he says to him, the innkeeper, he says to him, listen, we're almost there, we're almost in London, and I have to ask you for a favor. I have an insane amount of merchandise that I purchased, and I need to write it off on your name. I need to put some of it under your name because I don't want to get in trouble with the authorities, and I have too much possessions and too much money in my accounts. I need you to take some of it off my hands. Is it okay if I write your name on it? And Yaakov thought to himself, you know what? It's better than nothing because at least I'll get some percentages from this because I don't have anything. And he says, yeah, of course. Where do I sign? And he gives him the contract and he signs the contract. As the boat, they were on a boat by the way, as the boat gets to London, the innkeeper has a heart attack and he dies. And now most of the innkeeper's merchandise is all in Yaakov's name. Rabbi Nachman says that from really that diamond never belonged to Yaakov because Raya, that it was in the ocean, so it wasn't his. So it didn't belong to him. It wasn't meant for him. But the innkeeper's possessions and his merchandise and all of his wealth did belong to him because Raya, now it's under his name. Rabbi Nachman says like this, he says, I'm connecting it to Sukkot because Sukkot, right now, this energy that is coming down to the world today that we're in right now, only for the next few days, it says in the Torah, it says in the Zohar, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says that Sukkot is the Rosh Hashanah for happiness. All the happiness that we're going to have all year long, the nucleus is in Sukkot. That's why it says 3 times in the Torah. Because this is the nucleus of Sukkot, and like we know of Simcha, and like we know that whenever there's tremendous potential for spiritual greatness and power, there's going to be a tremendous amount of fight there. It doesn't go. We can't get things for free. It doesn't go that way in this world. Next world, it's all going to be there. But right now in this world, there's an exchange. There's an exchange of energy. So we're going to be a lot more during these times, these days of Simcha, where all of our Simcha for the entire year is going to stem from. It's a wellspring of Simcha. That's what Sukkot says. It's all going to come from this day. From these days, we're going to be tested and tested and tested. And what I got from the story that Rabbi Nachman brings down is that if your life depends on it, you fake it. If your life depends on it, you fake it and you put on a smile and everyone's on your nerves and everyone doesn't get you and everyone's stepping on your toes and you put on a smile because your entire year, all your simcha, the entire year, which is huge, depends on these next few days because it's Rosh Hashanah for our simcha. And all of our simcha is going to get written down during these days. So if I let myself get bummed out, if I let myself cry for the wrong reasons, if I let myself go to these places without fighting and making believe, I lost my diamond, but I'm going to make believe like I'm sitting on it and it's right here next to me and there's nothing lost. There's no bummer. There's no one that's stepping on my toes. There's nothing bad that's happening. My car gets stuck on the side of the road. I'm going to sing and dance. Why? Because if I fake it, I'm going to make it. And when I say make it, I mean that the Gzar Din for my year is going to be Simcha on levels that hopefully we're going to meet for the first time this year. B'ezrat Hashem. He'll give us all bracha, give us all bracha, give us all bracha. this Sukkot, we shouldn't be tested and we shouldn't be tried by the Yetzer Hara that just wants to really just kill us. That's his MO, to just try to get us in whatever way possible and try to bring down our spirits and try to make us think and overthink our lives and our problems and our mistakes and our insecurities and our money problems and our situations and being single or being divorced or being married, whatever the problem is. And that's what he tries to really, really get us. He tries to get us in here. And it says that Milchemes Gog uMagog is not really going to be a milchama. It's not going to be the end of days. It's not going to be a milchama. It says the Zohar says Milchemes Gog uMagog is a gegim, machshavot. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai says it's going to be a war of thoughts. Where I am in my thoughts is where I am in my life. Where I am in my thoughts is where I am in my life. The thoughts that you have is going to be the life that you're going to be living. During these days, it's such powerful, massive, powerful days. Whether being in the sukkah is like transporting to, on a spiritual level, to another level of energy, a whole other level of reality. And when you're able to be in the sukkah, it's like being in the mikvah. You're able to be in the sukkah, and in the sukkah you're able to be misamech, and in the sukkah you're able to fake it, put on a smile, and they drop the food that you just spent 2 hours cooking, and you still fake it and be a faker. Here is where we learn to fake it till we make it, because that's really the mitoch shelo ishma bal ishma, and that's how it happens. And Bezrat Hashem, this sukkah we shouldn't be tried and we shouldn't be tested. But no, when you are going to be tested, because we are going to be tested, because that's his job and that's his mission. Because he's also on a mission, the Malach HaMavis. That's what he does. He's a holy creation. When you're going to be tested there, talk to him. Say, you're not going to get me. I'm stronger than you. I'm stronger than you. And one thing I just have to sign off with, and this is something that this year for the first time, I've been practicing this every single sukkah for as long as I've learned this for a few years now. Every single sukkah, the intensity of the emotions are very, very, very high. For me anyway, it's very easy to get sad, hurt, upset. Very easy for me to go there, especially during these days. And this year I learned something incredible. I said to myself like this: if you say to yourself, if you sit with yourself and you say to yourself out loud, say to yourself out loud, right now, just be matzil, just say it, confirm it to yourself out loud. I will not go down on myself this holiday. I will not get bitter. I will not get angry. I will be positive. I will be happy. I will be connected. I will be in love with my life. I will be lechabek et hachaim sheli. I'm going to hug my life, all of it, the good, the bad, the ugly, the whole thing, all of it. That's what Hashem does. That's the sukkah, right? That's the parameters of the sukkah. I'm going to lechabek et ha-metziut, like the Zohar says, Rav Ashlag Baal Sulam, he says, lechabek et ha-metziut, hug all of it, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Just like you have kids, some of them are good, some of them are some of them are some of them are whatever. You hug all of them because they're your kids. All of it, with all of the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. And you say to yourself, I'm going to hug it for the next few days, no matter what, and you'll see, you're going to have so much more siyat d'shmaya that way. Just say it out loud, and it works. Have a beautiful Chag. Thank you so much.
That was so wonderful. Thank you. This is so lovely.
Thank you so
You have
much.
it recorded.
Yeah.